Coming to this book, I always wanted to do, I came to writing by accident. I was never an author. 10 years before, there was a technical paper to be submitted, and the title of the technical paper was Purposeless Birth to Purposeful Death. Somewhere it ignited me, somewhere there was an invitation to write. I was working in Hyundai those days, and I used to come home very late, and one fine day I started writing. I didn't stop. Whole night I wrote. It continued for 3-4 days, and when the technical paper won an award, I was overwhelmed. That was a big turning point in my life. I felt that something in me is there which I should continue to pursue to make a difference to people. When I wrote my first book also was written, the title of the book was You Can Become a Complete Manager. That book I wrote when I was bedridden for 3 months. I had a spinal cord infection. I said, how do I put this pain behind me? Then I started writing. So about 6 months time I finished the book. I didn't have an opportunity like this to launch that book, but it was a cleansing experience for me, writing the first book, You Can Become a Complete Manager. In fact, in the top sheet of that book, I finished saying, forget past, think present, and dream future. But as I kept evolving in my professional life, this book, when I was writing how ING came, I felt that it's not about forgetting the past, it's accepting the past. It's not about thinking the present, it's changing in the present. It's not about dreaming about your future, it's aligning to your future. And there's a coincidence between this book launch here and the title I Need Growth. I was taking a classes for Great Lakes in the old campus. Last session I wanted to leave some punch dialogue for the students to remember it. And I had just explained in the previous class about the 4 phases that a professional goes through. He goes through learning phase, he then grows, then he matures, then he contributes. Well, what could be a professional who wants continuous growth? And very casually I mentioned to myself, it's not about we learn and we grow and mature and we contribute. It's all about we continuously learning, we are growing, we are maturing, we are contributing. So the connecting word was ING. In the language of a professional who wants continuous growth is present continuous. This ING means I need growth. That's how the title came. The whole book, the first book I wrote, more as my personal experience, what I learned. But the title I wanted to give was I paid the price. You don't have to. But I felt that more than writing from my side, if I could reflect the professionals and budding professional students, it will be very apt. So I picked up 6 characters, key people with whom I have worked and to whom I have worked. And I have plotted them in the whole sequence of 18 chapters. And it runs through the entire professional life cycle. When you get into a job, how do you accept your boss, how do you work? When you work with a junior boss, how do you work? And the life cycle goes on and on. But one thing which was very, very important was no point in thinking that the world to change. The change is from you. So I said, even in that context, accepting plus changing, you'll be able to align to the future. So the entire book was written as a 4 quadrant. The entire life cycle itself goes through 4 quadrants. There's a learning phase, there's a growing phase, there's a maturing phase, and a contribution phase. And if you apply that in your personal life also, when you get married, you are very excited, but you may not be aligned to your spouse. The next phase is a very exciting phase. You are continuing to have excitement, you also align to your spouse. Fantastic. Third phase is a very dicey phase. Somehow you are aligned, but you no longer have the excitement in married life. And the fourth phase is a very dicey phase. No excitement and no alignment. And the way you put these things, and it runs parallel to your professional life. Professional life, when you get into a job, you are very effective. You are not effective, but you are motivated because the organization has chosen you. The next phase is very good, effective, when you are motivated. The best phase for a professional to be in. The third phase is very dicey, very indifferent stage. You are somehow effective, you know the people, you know the process, but no longer you are motivated. Very dicey phase. Fourth phase is you are neither motivated, you are not effective. But the third phase gives you a very frustrating moments in your life. But frustration to me is a very positive signal. It tells your mind that you are capable of doing better than what you are currently doing. So frustration, if you take it in the right sense, you'll be able to unlock your true potential. So it goes on like this. I don't want to unlock all the mantras that are there in the book. But the whole point is, it's not about you expecting others to change. When you say accepting the person as it is, changing your perception of that person will help you to align into the new personality that he is. So the only way to have a very peaceful life, you must have pace of growth, you must have peace of growth. The only letter that differentiates between this is E. That E talks about your emotional maturity. Talent will take you up to a point. It's only your temperament that will retain you there. So I have learned all these things are part of my own experiences, but I have defined myself in this book as a guy who is aggressive. This word is not in any dictionary. I said I am very aggressive by nature, but I also want to be very graceful with people. So I find it, I will be aggressive as far as leading my thinking is concerned, and I will be graceful in leading others' thinking. If I could define myself, I will take it as aggressive person. So there are many things, but the key point is, if you have a fire in your belly, if you find your passion, keep moving on in your passion. Don't let anything to stop you. And don't let, frustration is one of the best signals to get, and you will get frustrated in your professional life. It will not be easy. You will have all kinds of turbulences will come. In fact, one of the key things if you have to master is the ability to manage people. Because if you get your relationship right, you will get your life right. You will be very happy in your life because the person matter to you the most must be having a good relationship with you. Otherwise your life will not be okay. So get your relationship right is the key thing. Life. Before I end, I want to end with a very small story. There was a young boy who was picking up the starfishes. He was just walking on the beach. He was throwing it back to the sea before the sun could come, so that the starfish can have their life. So he was just doing one by one. There was an old man who was walking. He said, "Hey little boy, what are you doing there?" He said, "Can't you see? I am just picking up the starfishes and throwing it back to the water so that before the sunrise comes, they'll get their life back." He said, "Millions of fishes are there. You think you can make a difference to everything?" The boy smiled. He bent down and picked up another small fish, threw it, but I did make a difference to this fish. My entire book is a humble attempt to make a difference to professionals, to make a difference to budding professionals. I know I cannot reach out to everybody, but writing can help me to reach out to many people.